3 and out. We just talked about District 1. Very interesting. Quickly, the standings in there. Volcano Vista's now propelled themselves to 3-2. Rio Rancho's 4-1. Cleveland's 3-1 as they haven't started their second round of district play. But Cibola 1-3 now in district play, and that's not going to look good for them.
It's not looking good for them right now, but with the way that how this district is shaping
up, 2-3,
2-3, they still can put some pressure on them because Volcano has a gambit that they have to go through right now. I still believe they have Cleveland.
Well, they've got Cleveland
Rio Rancho coming
Rio
up.
Rancho,
so if you're Cibola, you're thinking,
but so does Cibola.
You're thinking, let me just steal a couple wins. We can steal one. That's the whole key.
It'll be interesting how it all finishes off. I figured this is how District 1 was going to be. We still can't help but to, at least me, hope that Rio Rancho and Cleveland are playing for an outright district championship on February 20th, which will be there just because of the atmosphere. That's selfish media reasons. That's just selfish media reasons.
But the way Volcano's playing right now, I could see them making a lot of noise because they force you to play their pace. And teams, if you're not disciplined, you get out of what you do, and all of a sudden you're looking at the clock, and it's fourth quarter, and it's 31-28, and you're a team that scores 80 points. So Volcano, as long as they keep it close, their goal is to keep it close and steal it at the end.
3 and out. Let's talk about District 5 now. Charles, I know you're not a happy guy because your Bulldogs, no, you're not. Your Bulldogs, you know what, you came in sulking. I know you. Your Bulldogs slip up, the one that they didn't need to slip up to, they lose at Atrisco. We knew you just, every night is going to be a battle. That's District 2. We're actually talking District 5. There we go. So, look, we knew every night's going to be a battle. A tough one at Atrisco Heritage. Two nights before that, they played at West Mesa. Albuquerque High slipped through that one. So I felt like it was almost like a matter of time this was going to happen. Now this is a problem, though, Charles, because the Bulldogs lose to Atrisco. They're now 2 down as Valley beat West Mesa pretty easily at Valley on Friday night. So the Vikings with a 2-game lead in district play. That's big.
Tough. Well, we both were talking that the last thing the Bulldogs needed to do was get 2 games behind.
Said that.
Okay, so now Valley's at 5-0. Albuquerque High had a rough weekend sense of they weren't clicking on all cylinders. If you watched them before, they're a lot better shooting team. They turned the ball over, made some mistakes or whatnot. But the good part for them, and this is just like Lobo fans, Bulldog fans, calm down. They're still 18-3.
But there's a problem with this, and you know what it is.
You're seeding. But at the end of the day, play where you're going to be seated at.
I understand.
So you got to beat Valley. You got to finish out strong and hope that Valley slips up. That's all you have.
You have to say that Albuquerque High, with their great record and what they've done this year, slipped up a huge opportunity to prepare themselves for a great road in the.
They were shooting. You
had in the NMAA tournament, and this is the reason. This is the reason. So if Valley wins, because of Valley's record and some of Valley's losses, they're going to get a 4, maybe a 5 seed. Some people have them as a 6. I don't have them that low, but maybe a 5 seed. That makes Albuquerque High a 6 seed, making Albuquerque High's first game Las Cruces, somebody decent.
Tough.
And then obviously their quarterfinal game, if they were to win that, would be even more difficult. So I'm just saying the road for Albuquerque High is a lot more difficult now because of these 2 district losses.
What happens with the Valleys and the Sandias making these runs is that someone, not just Albuquerque High, there's going to be 2 teams that are going to be penalized because these teams finish so strong in the season. Even the Clevelands, the Rio Ranchos, one of those teams are going to be sitting over at even 5, 6, 7. We both said that these teams with the good records couldn't slip up because there's no room for error after you fall from that top 3 area. And who says that Carlsbad doesn't beat Hobbs? Now you're talking, there's a good chance you can have a team with 20 wins sitting at 7, 8, or even 9. So
no, well, let me tell you why. No,
let
me tell you why, because we're just assuming that Carlsbad and Hobbs aren't going to lose to Clovis or Alamogordo, right? So say Clovis does beat Hobbs at home, they'll split the district, they'll tie, they'll be co-champs, they'll play again for tiebreaker reasons for the district tournament, but Hobbs will still then be seated above Carlsbad because they will be co-champs and they'll have a better record. So I think Hobbs has almost cemented a 1 seed. I really believe that. Firmly, by the way the rules are written in the NMAA, I think Hobbs is almost guaranteed a 1 seed by the way it's written out. Now, I'm just saying Albuquerque, their slip-up is bad because...
Do you reward Carlsbad so much?
Not to put them over Hobbs. No, I mean, one loss isn't going to hurt Hobbs, especially if they've already beat them once. We'll see what happens in the district tournament. A lot to play out. Just projecting everything.
I'm still looking at it like this. I'm not assuming that the Bulldogs cruise through this thing. You know, they're sitting at what, 3-2.
No.
They got to go to Valley.
That's the thing. So let's go over the standings.
3-3.
If you go over the standings, Rio Grande's 0-4 in district play, and then Etrisca with that dynamite win at home against Albuquerque High, they go to 2-3. Not the best of records, but because West Mesa's lost to Valley, they're also 2-3. So both those teams tied, and then now Albuquerque High is 3-2. Valley has cruise control, meaning. This game coming up, you're right, this game coming up at Valley, by the way, Albuquerque High and Valley, that will cement the district for Valley. They'll clinch it with a win, but they can lose, and it could be okay for them.
Well, they can lose. It could be okay for them. But now you're looking at the Bulldog team, a team that's last year lost a lot of games. They're in a different position right now. How do you handle success? This was the part that I was most interested in as the season progressed. How would they handle having a target? How would they handle people wanting them to lose now? Now they go into Valley, needing to win a game. I'm interested to see how they come out and play.
This is a big one. We're going to be there for you. uSports Network will have it covered for you.
It's going to be packed too, hot.
Let's switch districts now, Charles, and I want to talk about the other local district here. Yeah, the Sandia Matadors are owning this district. 2-6A. The Matadors are on a 7-game win streak. Excuse me, scratch that. 8-game winning streak. They beat the El Dorado Eagles by 10 this weekend. We thought El Dorado would probably give them a run, and they did for a while, but Sandia was able to pull away late. I think they might even have this thing sewn up, clinched up, Sandia.
In theory, they probably do. When you think about it, they're 5-0 right now. They still get, Highland one more time? I believe.
Highland's
been struggling.
They get Highland one more time.
And they get Manzano one more time,
and they'll get La Cueva too.
Okay, so if you go by probabilities, they're going to be favored in all those games, but they're really going to be favored in Highland and Manzano.
Okay, so here's what I really quickly want to get to is there is room for one more team. I've decided faithfully that 3 teams are not coming out of this district. One team will get it. It will be the winner of La Cueva and El Dorado when they play again this week. I'm telling you, that team will get a 16-15 seed at the end of the season. The loser will be out. Whoever finishes above each other, La Cueva or El Dorado, will get the second spot in this district. That is almost a guarantee right here. You heard that.
Okay, but to be honest with you, with Overracker coming back, I can see him getting his legs. I can see La Cueva battling in that tournament and pulling that upset against the Sandia team. Because when Overracker was in the lineup, La Cueva was starting to get something going. They had a nice inside-outside game. Their shooters, the shooters, that's the key to them. They have streaky shooters,
I think it's between them and El Dorado. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out, but I'm pretty sure only one of them's getting in. So we'll talk about more projections. We've got bracketology throughout this week, our projections where we think people stand. Oh, yeah. It's all leading into March, baby. This is the best time of the year. Keep it right here. It's uSports Central.